I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We are joined by Bunny McMillan. Hi.
Hey, what's up?
I appreciate you coming on the show. Please introduce yourself to everybody, please.
Hi, everybody. My name is Bunny McMillan, and I am a bunny hostess VTuber who's known for their harmonica playing videos.
Yeah, that's certainly something I haven't seen from other VTubers. But you just not just a harmonica player. You are a harmonica player.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't play the harmonica. I'm a harmonica player.
Yeah. This is we're gonna hear some of Bunny stuff a little bit later, but has harmonica always been your instrument of choice?
Yes, it usually has been. I actually have been doing before the harmonica. I started out as a singer, but I always wanted to be part of my school band. But but my parents wouldn't afford to get me an instrument.
Mm. Yeah. Well, harmonicas don't. I mean, a really good one will price you, but a get started harmonica doesn't cost too much.
Yeah, that's one of the basic reasons why I started, but there's also another reason why I started we might get into later.
Okay, we'll do that a little bit later. So when did you decide to perform as a VTuber harmonicist? Is that right?
Well, I actually started. Actually, I've always wanted to become a VTuber, but I always ended up failing no matter how I tried. Like, I wouldn't be interested in like streaming games, and I will try and do that in the future, but I feel like my main bread and butter would be my music.
Yeah.
And I actually started to do VTuber activities because of a Japanese VTuber named Mayushi Buki. She did a lot of stuff on the chromatic harmonica, and I thought maybe I might do that. And so I decided to become more on the diatonic harmonica. If anybody wants to know the difference between the diatonic and chromatic, the chromatic has a little button on the side, while the diatonic does not.
So the chromatic will allow you, with that button, allows you to switch tones.
It actually will allow you to play in like different keys.
Ah, okay. That's cool, and I'm sure a lot of people don't even have any idea what that means. But does the button have just two switches, or does it have many switches?
It's just one little button on the side, and it'll only allow it. And on C chromatic, it actually allows you to switch from the key of C to the key of C sharp or D flat, no matter how much you call it.
Oh, that's really cool. I mean, I've always enjoyed harmonica music. As a kid growing up with a lot of country music, and back in the 70s and 60s, the stuff that my parents used to listen to, there was a lot of harmonica in it, which I enjoyed quite a bit. What got you started with the harmonica? I mean, I know that you said that you kind of got into it because of when you were part of the orchestra, but there's getting into it and then there's sticking with it. What's draws you to it?
Well, the main reason why I got started was because of a song called Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up by Garth Brooks. I noticed there was a harmonica player on that song that I really loved the harmonica in that song. If you don't know who played the harmonica on it, it wasn't Garth Brooks. It was actually a session player named Terry McMillan. I am very proud of having him as an influence in my playing. And so when I decided that I would be a harmonica player, I wanted to sound like my hero, Terry McMillan. I would listen to his stuff on the radio all the time. And I really love how very, like, instead of like being like really basic, like Charlie McCoy style stuff,
right,
it was more bluesy and had more of a rougher edge to it that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, you're talking about a fellow who recorded quite a few harmonica hits, but they were very melodic, and a lot of times his harmonica took the place of the vocal in the songs. So it was a little different how he played the harmonica. You're speaking about a type that the harmonica is really used as a basic instrument, I imagine.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of like the Charlie McCoy stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I come to love like a lot of the fills and a lot of the solos that Terry McMillan played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's there's a feeling with a harmonica that you get a lot of yourself into the harmonica sound that comes out. Do you think that's the truth?
I really much think so.
Mm-hmm. And it's if you're feeling bluesy and you play a harmonica, the harmonica is going to sound bluesy.
Well, it usually depends on how many techniques you play, but it
Mm-hmm.
also really depends on the emotion that you're feeling in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard, of course, old Johnny Cash was a big, still is for me anyway. But songs like the train songs, you'd hear the usual harmonica type playing in that, and that was used for a purpose. But it is um, a much more versatile instrument than people give it credit for, I think.
Yeah, definitely. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people, especially in the Facebook harmonica community, usually expect like Little Walter or Charlie McCoy style stuff. But there is more to it than just all the basic blues and traditional country stuff that people have really tried to force onto me.
Mm-hmm. But
And it
yeah,
was really difficult trying to get into that.
oh yeah. Well, people get set in their ways, and they don't like new people with their flibbity gibbet stuff coming in and changing the scene. But the fact is that you're an artist on your own, and you do things your way, and you've got a different style than everybody else, and that's a good thing because it's where we are right now. Get a chance to talk with you on this program, and I'm very grateful for it. Um,
Thank you so much.
so what are your goals as a musician? Do you want to
I really want to become a session player and also like to create and make an album
mhm,
with my harmonica playing and my vocals.
mhm. Have you done the vocal training since you started the harmonica, or have you tried to keep it up?
I actually haven't received any vocal training, but I was in choir for 6 years.
Hmm. So we're gonna hear some vocal covers from you sometime soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, let us know because we'll promote the heck out of it for you. We'll get it out
Thank you
there.
so much.
we're gonna play some music from Bunny McMillan here in just a little bit, and you are going to be absolutely floored by the sound quality of what Bunny McMillan has to offer. It's really really amazing. Now, you started VTubing, and you tried to do the games thing. It didn't quite work. You settled in to do mostly the harmonica stuff. How did that sit with your community to start with? Were you able to get a good audience right off the bat?
Well, I actually started out pretty small. In my past life, I did like harmonica stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I was pretty much well received for my covers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And did that transfer over to uh, being able to do more live work with it?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah. Have you been able to get a good basic audience for it to come back time and again?
I'm trying to get into it, but it's just that there's a lot. It's a really niche kind of subject,
Mm-hmm.
as we were talking about with my Shibuki earlier.
Mm-hmm.
She was like kind of like the sandstone for my inspiration for becoming a harmonica playing VTuber,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to do stuff on the diatonic rather than on the chromatic.
Mm-hmm. Now, what is the difference between the diatonic as far as you said the chromatic allows you to play different keys? What does the diatonic do?
Diatonic is more quote unquote limited in its note range.
Mm-hmm.
It is you can't play in different keys with different key harmonica. So like diatonic is the basic C diatonic harmonica
Mm-hmm.
is is tuned to the key of C, but you can play it in like different what we call it in the community positions,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like you can between different modes and you can actually play in different keys that way.
Mm. It's all fascinating stuff, and the average person who just hears a harmonica wouldn't have any idea about something like that.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
you know, I've seen folks in the past carry several different harmonicas with them because they needed to switch keys, and they had to. They sometimes in the middle of a song they'd switch harmonicas and go from there. That can't be an easy thing to do.
For me, it was actually really easy
Yeah.
with, because with the harmonica, with the diatonic specifically, they're all tuned up to like a specific set of notes.
Mm-hmm.
So you can basically play in any key with a different key.
Mm. So when you have you seen you're a fairly young person, certainly in comparison to me. You're practically a baby in comparison to me. But the have you seen folks who are like Neil Young and Bob Dylan? Um, they would play harmonica along with strumming a guitar, various quality of how it came out. Uh, do you think that they are good harmonicists?
I honestly don't think so. I think it's just due to like they don't have like the basic technique down.
Uh huh.
But I won't shame anybody for liking them.
Yeah. Oh well, no, but I'm saying. I mean, it's definitely an added thing to what they're doing, and sometimes it's just the chord.
Yeah, it's just basically not my cup of tea. Basically.
Mm-hmm. You when you concentrate on one at a time,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it wouldn't be very. It'd be very tough, I'd imagine, to concentrate on trying to play something on both at the same time, more than a chord on one and a melody on the other. I would think.
Yeah, with single note playing, it actually was pretty difficult for me in the beginning, but it's now become second nature. It's all muscle memory.
So you've got this down pat now. So you've been doing this for a while. Um,
Yeah, I've been playing for almost 6 years. It'll be six in December.
that's excellent. And folks, you're going to hear in a bit exactly what Bunny's been up to. Many covers on the YouTube channel, and we'll have all the links to that in the description for the video as well. You will be absolutely floored by what this talented person is able to do. Um, so, what about concerts? Have you thought about? Have you been able to get out in front of people and do concerts? Have you wanted to do that sort of thing?
I really wanted to do that, but it was just that I I I have a lot of stage fright,
Mm-hmm.
but I really want to do like a virtual concert with me and the harmonica.
Mm-hmm. That would be really good. I think it would be excellent. Um, and again, with that virtual concert, you can be comfortable and not have to worry about eyes watching you.
Mm-hmm.
It. Speaking of that, and I talked about this with artists in the past, and I consider uh, playing an instrument and singing arts as well for this. There's a difference between playing something or making something for yourself and playing it for other people. Did you find it hard to play for other people at first?
Well, I have this choir background with my own
Yeah,
history with music, so
right.
I got used to performing in groups. But I usually perform in like for other people, and usually they come up with really nice responses, like I wish I could play that good and stuff like that.
Hmm. Do you get folks coming up to you when they hear you and saying, "When did you get started?" And asking you all sorts of questions about how to play and how they can get started and what type of harmonica you're using?
Well, not that much. They just do like basic compliments. Like the most technical part I got was from a friend of my stepdad's. He actually he actually was impressed that I could even bend a note
Mm.
on the harmonica.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sure, you can do it. Yeah. And you, folks, you're gonna hear it. I keep saying it, but I promise you, stay tuned. You're gonna have your socks knocked off of you here in a little bit. Um, and I'm not putting in empty words out there. You really are. Uh, being this good at something, how and getting the compliments for it. How does that make you feel? I mean, do you feel like you're at a peak now? Do you think you can still continue to improve as being a harmonica player?
Well, I always have room for improvement. Like I've been taking lessons for 2 years at this point with my teacher. I think I mentioned him in my debut stream. His name's Todd Parrott, and he is one of the nicest and one of the most gifted harmonica players on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And he has helped me boost my self esteem
Mm-hmm.
with and my confidence in my own playing.
Mm-hmm. And that's I imagine a big thing for playing any instrument.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, for harmonica too, as we mentioned, you kind of hear the feelings in a harmonica, and if you're tentative going in, it's going to be tentative coming out, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. So are there times when you pick it up and you're like, I don't know if I can do this today?
Yeah, with the bipolar disorder, it kind of it has like I kind of get depressed, and sometimes I even forget to practice.
Mm,
But I mostly come back with confidence in myself.
yeah. Has this helped you with that? I mean, has it been a good steady um, peer to lash onto when things are not always going your way?
Usually they are.
Well, I say it's good to have something that you can rely on. That's a constant when in situations like that, and I'm glad you have that. But I'm also glad that you share it with us because right now I'm going to play this cover that you made of why did you choose this particular song?
Well, I actually have really chosen this song because this is actually an arrangement that Terry McMillan did, and it really comes to show in my playing that how much he has influenced me as a harmonica player, and I really wanted to give him the justice that he deserves.
Yeah, well, here you go. Swing Low, Sweet Cherry. This is Bunny McMillan on Eric Loy Interviews. Well, I told you you can put your socks back on after you got knocked off, because as this Bunny McMillan can play, and I probably even short shrifted that a little bit. It's amazing to hear someone who obviously enjoys themselves with it as much as you do.
Oh, that's really sweet of you.
Well, and you can hear it when you talk about it, and you can hear it in your playing that you really this has really become such a big part of your life.
Yeah, definitely. It has become so much a huge part of my life.
Mm-hmm. And more and a lot more to come. I hope you got some things in the works.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, what have you got? Anything you can spill the beans on?
No, not really.
Oh, darn it! I'm in the media. I'm supposed to ask these tough questions. I'm not in the
I
media anymore.
know.
I'm not in the media anymore. Think everything. Um, the so what are your goals for the channel now that you've got yourself established and you are a tremendous player and folks are now come to you for that. What do you want to do with the channel now?
I still want to post a lot of covers, but I also want to do like karaoke streams too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a more music focused channel
Mm-hmm.
more than anything else.
Yeah, we're going to be hearing some of that voice here pretty soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm. So, what type of covers are we going to hear from you? What type of music are you going to be interested in singing?
Well, I'm mainly going to be interested in like vocally covers and J-pop covers
Mm-hmm.
if I know the song.
Yeah.
I mostly listen to Western music, but I really like a lot of international music too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. There's you if you limit yourself, you limit yourself. Boy,
Yep.
isn't that wonderful words? I should put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm a man of very few words, and I use very few of them. the, the fact is that there's so much to listen to, and if you can't, there are channels out there that you can listen to any type of music and enjoy yourself. I've got several different types I'll listen to, several different types I won't listen to. But what right now would you say is your favorite type of music? Something that you'll turn on to and listen throughout the day, no matter what.
Well, I listen to a lot of rock. I listen to metal music. I listen to country and sometimes even gospel. I'm
Mm,
not a Christian, but I really like listening to gospel music because I have so much deep respect for the session musicians on
mm,
those songs.
hmm Yeah, and there are some folks who can play and sing and in any genre, and there's some folks who just have those types of instruments, whether they're natural or whether they've picked it up and played it. That just make you want to listen, and the music is good. And again, folks out there, don't limit yourself. Listen to what your kids are doing. Maybe you'll enjoy it. And then force them to listen to what you listened to as a kid. They'll hate you, but you
Hmm.
can still try it anyway. uh,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. Where do you see the harmonica going as an instrument? Do you think you're gonna hear more of it in today's sample-heavy world?
Well, some of the stuff has been, well, it is really a niche instrument.
Hmm.
But I really hope to see it become more popular again, like it was in the olden days.
Hmm. Yeah. I just I just shudder to think of how many instruments that people can play that folks will sit at home and try to sample and use um, computers for. It does lose something in the process.
Mm-hmm.
It loses that human element, and I know you know this because you played it for so long, and I imagine you felt it. The harmonica is one of the more human instruments there could possibly be.
Yeah, there was a quote from Charlie Musselwhite that definitely relates to what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. What?
Charlie Musselwhite is a blues player,
Mm-hmm.
and he said the harmonica is the most voice-like instrument.
Mm-hmm.
And I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You can take one harmonica and one particular harmonica and give it to three different people, and it'll sound three different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. If you give it to me, you better take it away because it's going to sound terrible. So I'll hand it over to the next person and save everybody the trouble. But I tell you what, if you get a harmonica in Bunny's hands, they're going to knock it out. And you heard a little bit. Head over to the channel. We're going to have the links in the description for the interview, and check out what Bunny McMillan's got going on, because catch this train now. Really a tremendous artist, and I thank you so much for coming on and sharing your music and your story with us.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.